All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Monday to you. Hey, wanted you to see the pen. Want you to see the pen so you know it's official, like a referee whistle. No, I'll play. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Daniel Umstead. I am the host of the RNG Radio Show. Hey, start your day with this. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. You woke up. You're alive. You should be focused, somewhat focused. I know it's early in the morning, or if you're checking out this in the afternoon, but you should be looking at yourself and saying, I got to do whatever it takes to get through. I got to do whatever it takes to make sure that I can get through the next day. So on the RNG Radio Show, what do we always talk about? Credit repair, real estate tips, resume writing, and last but not least, motivation. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Again, my name is Daniel Umstead. I am the host of the RNG Radio Show, which you are viewing right now. And if you need assistance with anything at all, anything that relates to credit repair, real estate, motivation, and resume writing tips, please feel free to give me a call, 267-702-3756. So without further ado, we're going to hop straight into this. And starting off with credit repair. So the easy route. The easy route is to give me a call, 267-702-3756, as I am also a credit repair specialist, and I work with a company that removes bad debts such as medical bills, student loans. There are things that you have to do, though, like you got to call me, 267-702-3756. In addition, you need to sign up and enroll. In addition, there might be some action items that you need to take. The company that I work for does not magically take your social security number and information and say, "Oh, now, dearie, your credit score, what is it that you wish? A 780? Oh, a 722 to get you started? Oh, how lovely that would be. Or would you just like a perfect 850? No, you actually would need to do some work. Now, if you don't want to go through me, that's quite all right. I applaud you. But I went through myself because I myself am currently working on my credit, and I was actually able to increase my points by 14. So I am excited about that. I'll start bragging once it hits the 600s, because I ain't gonna lie. It's there, but it's not there where it needs to be at. So once it hits the 600s, then I'll be like, hey, I was that guy. 540, that was me. And I needed to work on building my credit. Here I am today. No, I'm not actually going to give it to you straight. So is it under 600? Yes, it is. Am I trying to give you guys free information while working on my credit, in addition to providing you guys information to work on your credit, so that way we can all be together and build our own empire so we can become kings and queens of the world? Yes, I am. So if you go on Experian has this article that says how to fix your credit. Now, there is a top of the part, which I want you to read, not me. I want you to read, and it says, what is the Credit Repair Organizations Act? So above all, let me summarize it. The Credit Repair Organization Act is a federal law that became effective on April 1st, 1997, in response to a number of consumers who had suffered from credit repair scams. Can you imagine somebody just saying like, hey, I ain't gonna say nothing to nobody, but listen here, man. If you trying to get that 750, 850 credit score, slide me a couple of bills and I will get it for you, brother. All right, listen. Meet me in the back of Tony's, we're gonna take care of that, all right? So this law came into effect because apparently prior to 1997, people were ripping people off saying that I can fix credit, taking the money and not doing anything about it. So there are bullet points, I should say, that say that. But you don't want to hear about some boring law today. You're like, no, Dan, I need to figure out what I need to do today. I'm unable to do your program right now, which I heard is great. A lot of testimonials, including yours, but I need to work on mine right now. So what can you do? How to fix your credit by yourself? So here's one thing that I need you to understand. Stop with the late payments. Just stop. If you're approaching a late payment or you feel that you're about to get a late payment, here's the reason why I say stop. Stop with the late payments right now, because that stays on your credit report for 7 to 10 years. Imagine you missing one payment, one easy little payment. Dang, y'all, I was like $5 short, almost had that. All right, I'll be all right next month. No, you might be all right next month, But what Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion sounds like, I don't know if they know this, but we married now. We married now. Oh, you got a late payment? Oh, we married now. So first and foremost, stop with the late payment. So if you got to make the minimum balance, it's okay, folks. Make the minimum balance. Listen, for the longest time while I was at Penn State, I had a credit card through MBNA. Yes, this was before it was Bank of America. And I was continuously paying $22, $22 to $25, not even thinking of adding extra to it. But I was just like, my mom said as long as I pay the minimum payment, I'll be fine. Well, this is the reason why. Because not only so much coming out of college, but even after college, 5 years into my first job, or multi-jobs, what have you, that the score itself would still be there. So let's definitely make sure that that your late payments are up to date, so that they're not staying on the report for 7 to 10 years. So in regards to report, excuse me one second. In regards to your credit report, look at it. Take a look at it. Right now, there are so many avenues to look up your credit score, to check out your credit report. By all means, you can do it through me. We do have the option where you can view it. And hey, if you're watching, 267-702-3756. No, so you can check your credit report for free. You know, if you just Google check your credit report, there's no magic link. I hate when people say like, yo, do you have the link? Google. No, there's got to be a specific link. No, if you just Google check your credit report for free, you should be able to see it for free. That's as simple as that. So track your credit report for free. Do not go by specifically by the one. Do not say like, oh, yo, I checked my Experian credit report and I am doing A-okay. Remember, your debt that you owe money to and such, whether it be credit cards, mortgage loan, what have you, understand that they report to maybe all three, maybe two, maybe one. So be mindful that when you check your credit report, that you're checking all three so you can see which one is which. All right. So the purpose of checking a credit report is so you can file a dispute. Now, I did go over credit dispute letters. They are very, very simple, that you could put up. Some require that you put the FCRA information in it. Some just require that you say, hey, I don't believe you on this, and this account. There is a sample template, but in addition, the company that I work with, we do provide that. So don't think that you got to do it on your own. So when you find information that is incorrect, you can file a dispute, and you could prove and show that it's like, hey, this was taken care of, blah, blah, blah. You can go into that further explanation, or you can come through me where we do the explanation for you. Outside of that, if there is a dispute on negative information on your credit report, be sure to fight it. Now, I talked about this the first time, improving your payment history. It just goes without saying, folks, and you got to think about yourself. Imagine if you will, and I'm going to be wrapping up the credit repair portion because we got to go into real estate. But imagine if you will, every single time that you go somewhere, you're late. Like, people know that you're late. Like, this is the person that's going to be late. We got an event at 7 o'clock. We need to let them know that's actually at 6 o'clock so they can be there on time. So do you want to be that person? Do you want to be that individual? And it's not so much of the frowning face like, this person's always late. No. Credit bureaus is like, this person's score is about to drop. Okay, because they want to stay with the lateness. So make sure that your payment rates or your payment history is up to date. Know your credit utilization rate. Dan, what is that? So your credit utilization rate is actually comparing your balance to limit ratio. So simple thing, you got $1,000 credit card balance. Hey, did you spend $995 of that credit card balance? Or did you just spend $300? So that credit utilization is like how much you actually used that balance. And in addition, that's why I talked about, not having to go over 30%. Listen, if you got to do whatever it takes, and you know that you're going to get that bounce back, by all means, definitely. What was it? Kanye West had went into like $800 million in debt. But now, Forbes recognizes it as a 1.3 billionaire. So something I think we would all love to get to. And if you don't why not? Call me up, 267-702-3756, or shoot me a text. Dan, I don't want to be a billionaire. I just want to work 40 hours a week, work for 20 years, and collect a gold watch, and that's it. I'll be fine. And sit in my chair watching Maury. That is boring. 1.3 billion seems a whole lot more fun. So, credit utilization rate, make sure that you're keeping it at no more than 30%. So, for example, if you have a $10,000 credit limit across all of your credit cards, you shouldn't be no more than $3,000 with your balance. So, going down to number 4, consider how many credit accounts you have open. So, and I don't want to sound fancy or throw you guys off, anything like that by saying credit accounts, but how many accounts that you have debt that you need to owe to actually, you know, that are active and open. So think about like, how many credit cards accounts do I have? It's Fingerhut, Macy's, I got 2 visas, Capital One, like just gave me money. So be mindful of that and do not close them. Please, please, please do not close them. I think I had mentioned this before. I thought I was all big, bad, and brave. I was calling up this one credit card company. Hey, I'm closing this account because I don't need y'all no more. Customer service was like, are you sure? Now, what they should have did to help somebody out, should have said, hey, if you close your account with us, all your history that you've had with us in the past gets wiped away. So it seems like you never had any credit at all. In addition, the balance that you have with us currently still stands, and we can still report it to affect your credit score if you don't pay anything on time. Yeah, they're not going to say that. So what I'm doing is I'm telling you that. Please don't do that because that's what will happen. Number 5, think about your credit history. Credit scoring models like those created by FICO often factor in the age of your oldest account and the average age of all of your accounts. So think about, if it's been like 10 years since you had something open, 5 years, 4 years. So, and hey, if you only got like 2 years, that's good. But as long as it's established and well, you'll be okay. Now, if you got 10 years of bad late payments, it's something that needs to be looked into, and that goes back to that credit report, filing disputes so you can get rid of some of those bad things. And then last but not least, be wary of new credit. I want you to point out, because Melody Bazemore, who had brought me in with the company, by the way, she's got a surprise tomorrow. I can't say nothing. I'm so excited to talk about it. Yes, it's one of those things that it's the sales pitch. You're like, oh my gosh, there's something brand new going on in the company, and I can't wait to share with you guys. Yes, being real with you, there is an announcement tomorrow, but I will discuss that on tomorrow's show, or depending upon the time that she actually does the announcement, most likely be Wednesday. But the reason why I say that is because she had pointed out soft credit checks and hard credit checks. The soft credit checks is, as far as the ping inquiry to check to see where you're at. Most banks may do this to just to get a peek in onto your credit score, kind of like going on Credit Karma, but pretty much from their side of things, to look and to see where you're at, to see where you might need to improve that. It might just come back and say, hey, your credit score is a 610. Our bank requires a 640 in order to work with us. Simple as that. Honestly, that's it. So be wary of the new credit, because when you're asking in regards to getting your credit check run, you don't want it to be a hard credit check. If anything, if it could be a soft credit check, keep it as a soft credit check, but stay away from the hard credit checks, because once you get up to 3, people are going to think that you're desperate, and it's like, well, what is he doing to get this money, or she doing? I have no idea. Strong. Make sure that you are being mindful. And hey, this is going to be on YouTube, or if it's not, you're checking it out right now on YouTube, be sure to rewind this so you can get those tips right back. So on to the next topic here. Real estate. So I was on NerdWallet, and NerdWallet has this article. It's from January 5th, 2018 by Marilyn Lewis. Do your own comps to gauge home value. But damn, what are comps? Well, comps are, and I read this verbatim because I don't want to trip over my own words. So please, if you think like, well, Dan, why are you reading it? Well, it's because I don't want to trip over my own words. I don't want to be like, the where reality state. No, I'm kidding. I do not read like that. So without further ado, comps. Estimating a home's value can be easier said than done. That's where real estate comparable listing, comps, and realtor speak come in. Comps are sales records of recently sold homes. Appraisers and real estate agents use them to get the most accurate estimate of a home's value, and you can too. No, the reason for it is simple. In short, finding comps involves looking for recent sale of houses as much like your own property as possible, then comparing your home to them and adjusting your price to account for the differences. So please, what I don't want you to do is go in your neighborhood and say like, well, that house sold for $500,000. That one sold for $750,000. The Zillow said my house was worth $125,000 though, but based upon the neighborhood, I think I'm gonna be good, probably around the $600,000 range. And this is where realtors and agents pretty much get upset because it's like, wait, no, that's not how you're supposed to calculate the comps. Calculating the comps is finding the exact same item and comparing the two. So if you look at this, we got a halfway water bottle and we got a little bit left of the other water bottle. Now, if I was trying to pull somebody over, which one do you think would sell? The one with more in it or the one with a little bit left in it? Most likely the one with more of it. If I even said like, yo, Brad Pitt was using that bottle, meanwhile I could say that I was using the other one. But the value of it is that you are comparing apples to apples, not apples to oranges. So with the comps, hey, if you have a 3-bedroom house, look for 3-bedroom houses that sold recently. Now, if you have a 3-bedroom house and you have 1.5 baths, meanwhile, the 3-bedroom house and 1 bath sold for $100,000. Meanwhile, you might get a little bit away with murder. Not saying, oh my gosh, did I say murder on radio, on live radio? No, I'm kidding. You might be able to get away with as far as increasing the value of your home because you have more accommodations. Now, if you notice that the roof, for whatever reason, on the rehab property probably got sold because it had some leaks in it, meanwhile, yours is having the same issue, there's still that comparison in value. So at the end of the day, please don't look for the shiny diamond in your neighborhood saying that, well, the house down the street sold for $300,000. Okay, well, the house down the street has stainless steel appliances. My appliances work though, right? But what people are looking for is stainless steel. So that's why that sold for that amount. Oh, all right. So how to find the comps: search recently sold listings, enter your city's name, and use the map to explore sold properties by neighborhood. Filter your search result by details like date sold, price, and number of bedrooms. And use the other filters as well. You know, I believe Trulia definitely has it as far as crime statistics, escuelas scores. I know scores. Please do not be offended. I know I said scores wrong. I think it's, no, it's not. I was about to say the P word that didn't go with what I was about to say. And neighborhood amenities. Neighborhood collects it to a manageable number. Half dozen is a good goal. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dad, I'll have time to be looking at comps. Well, that's where me as a realtor comes into play. I do offer these services for free. I just want to talk to you. Come and talk to me. I want to give you some comps. Can I talk to you? I really want to help you sell your house. I know, it was off beat, but y'all was following the flow though, right? Y'all was following the flow. I know y'all was following the flow. So, but yes, honestly, 267-702-3756. I do have access to the MLS. My time is of value as much as yours, but hey, if you need a quick solution and you're like, Dan, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, 267-702-3756. I'd be more than happy to assist you. Now, visit your comps. Now, I know that we're in this tight little bind. I know that you're really supposed to be staying at home. And I know what you think, well, Dan, how am I supposed to visit the comps? Well, tell you what these out-of-state investors do when they're checking out properties and even checking out their own comps, even the ones that don't have access to the MLS. They're going on Google Maps and they're pretty much checking out the neighborhood. If they see, a huge red flag that says, no way, Jose, or some abandoned building that's like 3 over, and then they research those 3 abandoned properties, and if they're still abandoned, they're like, no, this house is going for $40,000. But there's 3 abandoned buildings next to that house. And when I looked up 3 abandoned buildings next to the house, they're still abandoned. I don't think if I put that much work into it, that this house will resale for what I want it for. So I'm going to leave it alone. So that's where it comes into play as far as looking. And then by all means, you know, if you got a realtor, somebody that's familiar with the neighborhood, hey, you might know a friend that's close by that like, hey, you might check it down the street. I was looking at a property. Sure, definitely. Why not? So the value of that water is completely gone now, by the way. And calculate your home's value. Now, the calculating of the home's value is looking to see what you can offer, what you're pretty much offering to this prospective new homeowner, prospective buyer that's interested in your property. So anything that you've done to the kitchen and the bathroom, definitely a big option, because if your kitchen has definitely been recently renovated or upgraded or updated, by all means, those are some of the factors that you want to look at. Compare with your comp. So you might have that one at best, and meanwhile the one down the street sold for one at best. But if you just put in granite countertops, if you just put in stainless steel appliances, if you just redid the floor and all that, or if there was a leaking situation with the sink, what have you, like they're walking into an immaculate kitchen now compared to the one down the street, then by all means that value will increase. So the other one is how to gauge the accuracy of your comps. There's no correct accuracy. Even if you think that you did everything correct, the realtor, the agent, the appraiser might come in and say, I don't know where you got those comps from. Your house is only worth $140,000. Where did you get $230,000 from? Well, the house down the street, and Dan said I needed to compare. And it's like, well, did you look at this factor? The house down the street had a finished basement. You know, I forgot to check the basement. Got to check the basement. Completely forgot about that. So it's very, very detailed. But if you need assistance on it, 267-702-3756. We'd love to help you out. So that is for real estate. Check out those comps, okay? Check out your own personal comps. Or feel free, hey, if you got some time, why don't you look at other neighborhoods and look at a house that's looking to be sold and check the comps around that property to give yourself an idea like, were they on target with this? And some websites, I believe, will actually show the estimate, but you really can't go by other websites and what they say, because it's not like they themselves are a Mayfair, Philadelphia neighborhood rep. They're just going by based upon the numbers. So be mindful of that. The resume writing advice. I went on Indeed, and Indeed has a lot of great articles, a lot of great and recent articles. So this one, 6 universal rules for resume writing with video. It's like video like stands out, or like people have time to be like, oh wow, this one comes with the video. This is great. So how to write a resume. You need to cover all the basics. Relevant educational degrees or certificates and licenses. No, you need to have your education on there. Yeah, highest level completed. Now, but those of us that are, you know, wise in our ages, such as myself, there does come a point in time where you don't need to put down the year that you graduated high school or the year that you received your degree. I know it's crazy. You're thinking like, no, but they need to know. They need to know that I've had this degree. They don't need to know. It's actually considered a negative against you automatically. I say this because I talk to other recruiters, and the moment that we see high school diploma, 1988, we just doing this. And if we see that there's a stronger candidate compared to that one, based upon that, now I know what you're thinking, Dan, isn't that age discrimination? No, not really, because there's really no exact, here's one thing, there's really no exact proof. And in addition, usually 9 times out of 10, when I see that, I'm seeing other mistakes as well. I'm seeing people misspelling Philadelphia. I've seen, and I've done this. There's so many other factors in regards to a resume, but if somebody just shoves it in my face, Dan, what's wrong with this? Tell me now, please. You know, I'll definitely break it down for you so that you can be. You got to understand, your resume is a sheet of paper that describes who you are. Imagine a sheet of paper describing all this, you know, all this. Do you see the hair? I cannot put my hair on a resume and say, goodness gracious, look at that hair. He is just an angel in his own sight. My gosh. Because of his hair. I just want to hire him because of his hair. No. But honestly, you want to have a breakdown of everything that stands out that makes you, supreme. You got to beat out these other competition. You got to beat out everybody else in regards to that's looking for a job. You got to beat everybody else that's in regards to trying to get their life together. You got to beat everybody else in regards to looking for the same position that you are. And sometimes you got to do whatever it takes to get there. So cover all the basics. Put down your education, your relevant work and volunteer experience, your contact information. I know this sounds crazy, but make sure your email address is workable. I can't tell you how many times that I talk to people and I thought it was a joke, but my manager had told me, he's like, listen, you need to confirm that the people are available. Make sure their email addresses are correct. I'm like, is their email address? Of course it's correct. It's probably the email address, the email from. Now, I've had it where people are like, hey, what's the email address that you have on my resume? The email address that I have on your resume, such and such a gmail.com. Ooh, do you mind switching it to the Yahoo one? Okay, what's your Yahoo email address? Okay, it's going to be such and such at yahoo.com. All right, cool. You need me to update it, or did you want to send me an updated copy? I think you put it on there. I appreciate that. So that turns a recruiter and especially a potential employer all the way down. So make sure that your contact information is updated. Make sure your phone number is correct. By the way, if your phone number, for whatever reason, is not working or not in service, Google Voice has it where, it could pretty much go straight to an inbox, and you could just say, hi, my name is Daniel Umstead. You've reached my voicemail. Please leave a message after the beep. That's it. And then this, voicemail goes to your email. This voicemail gives you notification on your phone. So, and, especially when you're in a Wi-Fi area or, later on in the day. So make sure that your contact information is updated. Relevant skills and your level of mastery. For example, conversational Spanish. Please do not put on your resume, I just started learning Spanish. Please don't put on your resume, I'm a beginner in Spanish. Nobody cares that you know how to say gato and perro, okay? Nobody at all, because that's not going to be beneficial. But if you are fluent, like you can talk Spanish, put that on your resume. But the employer, your future potential employer, is not interested in knowing what level you are on or where you're at on Duolingo. It's just straight to the point. Can you speak Spanish? If you can, great, put on the resume. If you can't, take it off the resume. And this goes for any other language. Please don't put something on your resume that you cannot do effectively, okay? Explore other resumes for inspiration. I can't tell you how many times I've done this. Actually, I do this every single time when I'm helping people out with their resumes. I see their resume, I look to see what they're looking for, and then in addition, I ask them, hey, did you do this, this, and this? Okay, cool. And then I go on Indeed, using my account to actually explore other resumes, or I just Google sample resumes pertaining to their field and get the descriptions and put it on there, formatted correctly. Because some people just put down, hey, I was a cashier at Taco Bell, drive-through, and made orders, when there's like this whole other description that could be put in. And I know you're thinking, well, damn, where can I get the description from, or how can I do it? First off, you can call me 267-702-3756, or you can simply just go on Google and search information yourself. So definitely explore the resumes for inspiration. Use as few words as possible. Here's my thing. If you're a financial analyst, please don't just put down, I achieved my job by analyzing full details and leaving it at that. Depending upon your job, less is more, or more is less. So don't think that it's like, oh man, I knew I had too many words. No. If your job requires a lot out of you and a lot of responsibilities, make sure that, make sure that, it's precise. Don't put too much on there, because there's certain things, especially if you got like that one word that's breaking it down to 2 lines, take a word out in order so that it could be on 1 line. Don't feel that you need to completely fill up your whole resume and job duties with a bunch of jargon that's not even going to make sense. Oh, and speaking of jargon, this kills me. If your job is abbreviated, or the job duties that you're doing, or the forms, or any task and responsibilities is abbreviated, be sure to spell everything out and then put in parentheses your abbreviation. All right. Number 4, quantify your accomplishments whenever possible. So quantify means you need a number on it. You know, for me, you know, with the resume writing business, I could put down since opening 10 years ago that I was able to help over 100 people annually be able to set out their career goals. That's something as far as a number. The example that they give down here, achieve 180% year-over-year lead growth through strategic content marketing initiatives. The only important thing in that statement is the 180%, because potential employers and recruiters are looking at numbers on your resume saying like, oh, wow, they did that? Cool. Now, where's the proof in the pudding? I don't know how to check 180% year-over-year lead growth. I don't even know if the company's doing that, but if, hey, they put on the resume, it sounds chic for the fact that they took that time to actually break it down like that for me. I might want to bring them in, or this time, do a phone interview with them to move on with the next stage. The main thing that you're doing is just trying to get in front of the employer. Once you get in front of the employer, you're good to go. Number 5, using keywords that employers are using in their job description. Here's the real trick. Here's the real trick. You can definitely do that, you know, like I said, back to that financial analyst job. In regards to somebody, you know, pulling the word analyst and making sure that it's in their resume along from the job description. Great. All great and well and good. Here's the fun part. When you are using, you know, online applications, not so much through Indeed or ZipRecruiter or anything like that, but when you're actually on the employer's website, especially if it's for like a big hospital, they use an ATS, applicant tracking system, which usually pulls out keywords to see if they match up. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, Dan, I know I'm qualified for a job, but how am I supposed to get in front of employers? I got to go through this computer first. Well, the trick is this. You need to pull a couple of keywords from the job description and then put it all the way at the bottom of your resume. Make the font small as possible. Make it white. Make sure you get rid of all the little squiggly lines so it doesn't pop up, and then save your resume as a PDF, and then submit. And I know what you're thinking, well, Dan, how is that going to give me a job? Well, by the time that it actually gets in front of the recruiter, they're going to notice that, excuse me, a lot of your keywords actually match up, specifically looking to do exactly what we're doing here right now, and it just gets you that phone interview, gets you that face-to-face interview. But Dan, I feel like I'm lying. Can you do the job? Are you capable of doing the job? Do you know that you can do the job exceedingly past what they're expecting of you? Then if so, yes, then do whatever it takes to get there. All right? Now, proofread several times till you catch typos and misspellings. It happens all the time, folks. I know what you're thinking, and I know you're saying like, oh, well, I was doing fine. I didn't realize that I needed a capital P, or I didn't realize that the spelling should come against me. Make sure that you look at it, have somebody else look at it, so that way, you know, you're not stuck there thinking, oh, man, I hope they're not looking at me because I misspelled something wrong. It does happen. Like I said, I spelled Philadelphia wrong for about 8 months, and I was trying to figure out why I couldn't get a job when I was laid off. Come to find out, I'm like, oh, because I spelled the word wrong. So, but that, make sure you got typos checked, and make sure you're looking out for any spelling mistakes. But above all, you know, if you need assistance, 267-702-3756. During this time, I am actually doing free resume review writing. So if you need any assistance, if you haven't checked on YouTube and you're still not able to go outside technically, please give me a call, 267-702-3756. I might be providing you tips where you can do it on your own, or if I see that's easy fix, I'll just do it on my own and then send it back to you. Definitely feel free to check my references by going on the Robin Nathaniel Group Facebook page. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out to you, and this is actually from a dear friend of mine, Mr. Jerome H. Lewis. He had put in his story, fight for your growth. So I was looking at that and I'm like, fight for your growth. What does he mean? Oh, by the way, we are in the motivational part. So what does he mean by fighting for your growth? What could it mean? So I checked out the story and I was like, wow, you gotta fight to get to where you want to be at in life. You know, you gotta, it can't be something that you just sit down and be like, I'm gonna get there. Just gotta analyze, look around, make sure everything is good to go. No, you gotta fight for it. You gotta fight for it. If it requires you to wake up an hour early a day, if it requires you to start a radio show, if it requires you to, you know, make more calls, connect with more people, whatever you're trying to do in life, you know, or whatever it takes to get there, fight for it. You know, stop sitting down and thinking that it's like, all right, well, if I do a little bit here, a little bit there. Hey, listen, if you got to study for something, especially from our realtors that need to renew their licenses, it's May 18th, okay? August is, I know we got this extended deadline, but it's going to come here sooner than you think. So if it requires you to, you know, take that extra time to study, then take that extra time to study. The other thing about it is, too, if you are owed something, you know, if something's supposed to be given to you, fight for that. You know, if you are looking to achieve, if you are looking to become greater, if you are looking to get to that next level in life, fight for it. Stop sitting still thinking that it's like, oh, this is where I'm at. You know, I can't do nothing more, nothing less. So here I am. Get out of that, okay? Get out of that, pull yourself out of that, and fight for where you want to be at in life. Fight for where you want to go to. And in addition, make yourself known and make yourself aware. One thing I want you to point out this week is, what does your calendar look like? What does your calendar look like for this week in regards to you personally? What do you have listed on your calendar that you need to study? What do you have listed on your calendar that you need to take action on? Hey, if you need to put on your calendar throughout the day, make 10 sales calls, post up 3 posts on Facebook. I do it. It's just what's on your calendar. What do you have listed on your calendar to get you there? So fight for your growth. Put something on your calendar today, even if it's for 5 minutes. You got to schedule something at 2 o'clock, from 2 o'clock to 2:05, then do it. Okay, then do it. What I don't want you to do is sit there and think that life is going to be this easy where somebody's going to hand you something. Nobody's going to hand you anything at all. You got to fight for it. You got to get to where you need to be at. And in order to do that, you need to keep growing and you need to fight to keep growing. It's not a matter of just sitting still. It's a matter of, what do I need to do to achieve it? And I got to do whatever it takes to get there. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Again, my name is Daniel Umstead. I am the host of the RNG Radio Show, and I hope you had a great time listening and checking me out. Again, please hit that subscribe channel if you're on YouTube. But if you're checking me out on Facebook Live, hi! But have a great Monday, and above all, stay blessed, my fellow millionaires. Talk to you soon.